up to 30 new slots on your team up partner, something like that.
Yeah, listen, let me say a quick thing about the inventory space and how it relates to their bottom line. Those of us who are, looking at the world through realistic lens, right, through a realistic lens, we understand that these people work in a company. They're part of a team that has to eat. They're individual employees, have families, and they all have to make money, right? So the company needs to make money.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that they've got financial duties as well, so on and so forth. So it's completely unrealistic to think that they shouldn't have something like what they've got now, as far as the inventory system and how it works, right?
Yeah.
But but look at the the facts that we've got in the game so far compared to what it was day one, right? They are making things that should stack. They're making the stacks really decent sized
Yeah.
stacks, okay? And then as if that wasn't enough, they went and added a whole new thing for you to collect, the rune stones, right? And
Yeah.
said, you know what? It's true. You guys are right. We should probably add a couple of more slots for you for that and make other things stack a little higher than they stack currently. So realistically, if you want to play this game for free, without spending a single dime, come those changes, you absolutely will be able to.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing is, you're going to really have to focus on that one hero first. So
Yep.
you're not going to be able to do what, for example, I do, and I'm sure you do, and I'm sure many of us do, which is that we work on a hero for a little bit, and then we go to the next hero and work on him for a little bit, and then we make him back to you're not really going to be able to do that because you're going to have to fully focus on that one hero, do absolutely as much as you can, and then clear your inventory, clear your one stash of anything relating to that hero, and then work on the next hero.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and if you do that, if we have knowledge of the game, you could actually do it perfectly free. One stash is more than enough because you know something when it's not good. You know something to give away. But I'm also the kind of player that I want an offensive set. Eventually, I want a defensive set. I want to save
Right.
the rune words for other heroes eventually. So that said, though, and that's my personal opinion, is if you are going into a game that far, you should also just support them, right? I mean, that's maybe.
But but I'm so glad you said it that way because that's the beauty of it is that if you're willing to spend that much time, which really what you described as min-maxing just now, right?
Yeah.
That's an aspect of min-maxing. If you're willing to go that far into a game, goodness sakes, you can't give them $5 for an extra stash,
Yeah,
for one
exactly.
extra stash. You can't give them an extra $10 for, you know what I mean? Like at that point, it sort of becomes like, okay, are you just really, 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 really financially restrained, tight? You know, what's going on there?
Yeah.
Anybody can come up with $5. Goodness, So
I've been thinking about that earlier as well, and it's for some reason there is something on the internet that people just don't. Spending money on a virtual item is having a bad name. Whereas I remember the first week of Diablo 2 expansion set when I was playing 1 week full time, and I ran downstairs and because I found the legendary the grandfather sword, right? So I ran downstairs and I was just so happy that I found it. So it has value, but for some reason, some people think that buying something that's virtual is it doesn't have value. But I don't. I disagree, really.
yeah, and again, that's just going to be a matter of perspective, and what do what value do we place on a purchase is completely arbitrary and it's up to the individual. I
Exactly.
mean, I for one could say to you that I don't see the value in going from the iPhone 2, iPhone 3, iPhone blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? I don't see the value in that. I could say that to you. Whereas someone may say, "Oh, I absolutely see the value.
Yeah.
From iPhone 4 to iPhone 5, I get my extra, quarter-inch screen or whatever it was." So everyone's got their own perspective. I don't look at it as me spending money on some virtual item. I look at it as me supporting the company so that they can keep putting out a product that I enjoy, that I get genuine pleasure and fun out of, and uh, meet people all the time that blow me away with their sincerity and how cool and chill they are.
Yeah.
So the community by itself in many ways is well worth the investment to me.
Yeah, I am fully behind you on that one. All right. What I want to do is, in a few minutes, I want us to go through the HoloSim, which is the new mode, and we're going to talk about that and what we think about that. One thing I want to address as well is what I find interesting is, of course, they had their nerfs, but their general goal has been, and I find it very interesting, is every time they added a new item, it added to your power. On a basic level, on some occasions it's not entirely true, but on the basic level, every time they have a new patch, your hero becomes stronger. Think of it. I mean, you started with unique with epic items. You got the cosmic upgrades, so you got +5 to all your skills. Then they opened up the relic system, which gives you 300 health. I don't know if people really have stacks of 1,000. I'm at 300 something.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not huge, but it just adds up. And then you get the legendary item. It adds up. You get your uniques. They all keep improving throughout the lines. The general line is upward.
Yep.
And then come the team ups. You've got a passive buff if you don't use it. If you use that team up, you also get stronger. I like that a lot. I don't know
Right.
if you're on the same page, but
Yeah, absolutely. I think that what you're sort of hinting at is that the, as you said, the line is trending upwards, but it's never so crazy a spike with the addition of a new item or a new set of items that you can say clearly, oh look, that's glaringly obviously overpowered, you know.
yeah,
So it's a little bit here, it's a little bit there, and then what you really see is that over time, when you go from a level 1 hero to a level 60 hero, boom, you hit 60 first time, you still have from that point on a lot to go. If you're
yeah,
truly trying to
min max.
maximize, yeah, exactly, the best aspects of your build and minimize the negative ones. So there's a lot to do there. And I don't know about you, but me, I'll grind 2 hours for that extra point. I will, you know.
Yeah,
So if I'm sitting on a cosmic and it's like just shy of being perfect, now of course I'm not going to sit there for days, but I'll spend the time trying to find that one extra point. So yeah, it matters.
yeah, exactly. All right. Another thing that I wanted to point out is what do you think of the current endgame?
I think that the current end game is going to be vastly improved once we get raids. I think that as it stands right now, it's good if you're coming into the game, let's say a month or 2 months ago, right? There's enough there to keep you busy for now. For myself speaking, personally, it's sort of me sitting there waiting, like when is this going to happen? You know, I'm just waiting on bated breath, as they say. When are they going to add these things? And the other big one, of course, is PvP. That's another thing that's been in beta for quite some time. They announced a couple of shows back. I'm talking about Marvel, Gazillion, that is, right? They announced that they were going to be taking PvP out of beta soon, right? They said they
so,
said soon, right?
soon can still be 3 months, but yeah.
Now soon, and I really hope it is. I really hope that by soon they mean 2, 3 months, 4 months, because let me just say this shortly, briefly here. There seems to be this thing where nobody likes to lose, right? I mean, nobody can genuinely tell you like I love to lose. If they say that, they're crazy, right? Nobody likes to lose, but it seems like there isn't really an objective platform uh, as far as discussing changes to be made in PvP. It seems like that everybody gets up on their side of their argument and gives their side of the story, their advice, right? Rarely do you see that people stand back and say, "Oh, okay, I could see why that matters for that person in that build in that situation," right? So
Yeah.
what am I getting at? Let me cut this short. The developers have been left to deal with almost 80 to 90% of the changes on their own because it's sort of like you walk into an argument, you know, he said this, she said that. You don't know who to believe, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want them to jump the gun and bring PvP out of beta just to appease, I don't know what, right? I want
No.
them to keep it in beta, But what I would like to see as far as endgame content and getting PvP out there or getting it out there sooner is some kind of a beta leaderboard, right? And why do I say that? Because with that addition, you'll be able to quickly see who stands out at the top consistently. And
Yeah.
therefore, you can extrapolate why that person is winning all the time. Maybe it's because they're overpowered. Maybe it's because there's some aspect of that particular hero or that particular build or an item that's overpowered. I think that single addition alone will help them to balance PvP a lot faster.
I totally agree, but there is an alarm going off, guys. Something came up. I will see you in Hodesim quite soon, but there is. I got something. Wait, one sec. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys, that this has to happen on live, but something happened at the RAF. Let me see. Oh my god, that does not look good. Give me one sec. I will be right back. All this power! All this power, man! Oh my god! Oh my god! What just happened? I don't know what happened. Something was at the studio, and I cannot believe what's going on, man. It's just, what are we gonna do? Who are you, sir? Who are you?
It looks pretty good, man. That looks pretty
What?
good. You've got the symbiote suit power now, huh?
Oh my god, I can feel it so good. All right, let's without further ado, let's go game some little bit.
Let's do
All
this.
right. We are in the same party, are we not?
I think you may have to send me another invite. Let
All right.
me. Okay, I'm ready.
All right. I will invite you. All right, there we go. I'm going to change to the one and only Spider-Man, and I clicked on Storm. That's not good. I cannot really see my screen well. All right.
Someone's getting hurt over this.
All right, there we go. So the new mode. What do you think of it? What's your experience so far?
It's fun. I think that they need to change a couple of things, some details here and there. Some of it is already addressed in the patch notes. Um, some of it has to do really more with just the frequency of drops. The item drops could be a bit better still, but the experience overall is pretty good.
Yeah.
This as more of an individual thing, a team up thing, like you and a buddy get in here and do some content.
Yeah. What do you think of the variety of waves? Because that was pretty appealing to me, I must say.
Yeah, it's got a pretty good variety of waves for sure. If you're trying to farm something in particular, the best way, strategy-wise, is not to keep doing wave after wave after wave. In my experience, the best strategy is to come in. If you get what you're looking for, you do that wave, and then you continue on to the second wave. And if you get it again, you continue on. But let's say maybe 5 waves in at most, if you want to do a couple, and then just kind of exit out. Because what ends up happening is that the content gets harder and harder and harder, and so again, from a min-maxing perspective, you're spending more and more time trying to defeat the enemies and less time actually farming what it is you're trying to get.
All
If that
right.
makes sense.
Yeah, and what you are trying to get pretty much at this time is the Hulk medallion, right?
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm hoping for the most. That's really what I want. It seemed amazing last time I saw a picture of it. I don't know if they changed the stats or not, but yeah, that's really what I'm looking for. And again, that's something that they mentioned in the patch, which is that they are going to be increasing the drop for that item.
Yeah, exactly. So as I remember the stats, if you get hit, you grow, right, and you grow as big as the Hulk or something, and you
Yeah, I
get a
think
lot of defensive stats and stuff.
Correct. I think it pretty much functions just that way, which is that you kind of get that same boost, almost like the Venom